Every 3 months or so, we try to update our top 20 list, and this one was especially fun to make. Dave, AJ, and I spent nearly 7 hours duking it out, but it was you, the viewers, the game cats, that settled all the close calls and decided all the tiebreakers. And we thank you for all your help. But now it's time to share the results. So here it is, the top 20 PlayStation VR games as of September 2nd, 2019. Starting off with probably the most divisive game on the list, Immortal Legacy: The Jade CIPHER plays a lot like how you'd expect an Uncharted game to look and feel in VR. It's got an outrageous, practically Kojima-esque story with ridiculous characters to match, so it knows how to have a good time.
This island is where it all started.
Down by the water, there's a place I know.
Relax, explore items from the shop, take photos of the wilderness, or follow the story to take on the legendary Slackjaw. Catch and Release puts you on a tranquil lake to explore and conquer, one fish at a time. It's not just an experience, but a complete and polished game as well.
Down on me, make me feel at home.
Despite the conspicuous lack of multiplayer, Everybody's Golf VR has done a fantastic job of carrying the legacy into a new medium. There's a sense of peacefulness here that few other VR experiences can replicate. This is one that any fan of fun, arcade-style golf games needs to have in their collection.
Attacks are breaking out everywhere. Jacob, please respond.
There's no denying that Sirento has a fairly tacked-on campaign and environments that could have been created on the PlayStation 2, but once you scratch the surface, you discover an incredibly deep upgrade system, a variety of weapons, and one of the most impressive locomotion systems we've ever seen in VR. Wall running into a quadruple jump while taking out enemies in slow motion while upside down mid-backflip doesn't just sound impressive, it feels impressive too.
And you're keeping the kids because you don't respect me. You push me, and you push me.
Throwing you inside of one of Justin Roiland's crazy cartoon shows, Trover Saves the Universe features plenty of hack and slash gameplay, platforming, and a ton of raunchy humor. This is easily Squanch Game's best title yet, and we can't wait to see the free DLC only days away.
Trover, no one needs to hear your commentary about everything.
Five Nights at Freddy's might be one of the most popular franchises ever to grace the PlayStation VR. Do your best to survive the night as a witless security guard defending your off-brand Chuck E. Cheese franchise from the animatronic horrors that arise when the sun falls. You'll be rewarded with suspenseful puzzle gameplay, endless jump scares, and hours of content to keep your heart racing.
Miss me, sugar?
Cramming practically all of Borderlands 2 into VR couldn't have been an easy task, but you never know it based on how it looks, feels, and plays. The world of Pandora feels like a perfect fit for the medium, and it's easy to waste 100 hours leveling up your characters, knocking out side missions, and collecting loot like it's your job. Add to all of this Gearbox's commitment of constantly improving the game with aim support and all of the promised DLC, and you have yourself a can't miss classic.
Farpoint is a sci-fi action shooter that introduced us to the aim controller, and it absolutely blew us away with its precision and immersive gunplay. The excellent storytelling and characters make it feel like you're living in a sci-fi movie, and the addition of co-op and challenges across stunning environments with multiple weapons and upgrades to unlock adds plenty of replayability to an already amazing single-player campaign.
We're in the middle of the most fascinating scientific opportunity in history.
PlayStation VR has long been plagued by criticism for lack of a full, open-world AAA quality title, but no game has so completely refuted this premise as Skyrim VR. The entirety of Tamriel, along with all of the game's existing DLC, has been recreated in virtual reality, allowing players the opportunity to stand in battle before a mighty dragon, adopt children, become a vampire, and raid the coffers of innocent townsfolk more immersively than ever before.
When all the paths are overgrown.
Moss introduces us to Quill, the tiniest, most adorable heroine ever seen in a video game. Helping her on her stunningly beautiful journey creates a heartfelt bond, and despite the storybook vignettes and diorama-like stages, or possibly because of them, her struggle becomes yours. The addition of the recent Twilight Garden DLC makes Moss a better value, but Polyarch's masterpiece would have still found a place on this list without it.
Trapped in space while slowly being pulled toward a black hole, fight, sneak, and die your way to escape through the mutated crew members and traps of the Persistence. This thrilling sci-fi roguelike offers more than just exciting stealth gameplay, but tons of action and scares to experience as well. With a 13-hour campaign, weapons and abilities to unlock, and additional modes, there's more than enough content to enjoy while you become strong enough to eventually bring the fight to the monsters that await.
Mention Wipeout in VR to someone who's never played it, and you're likely to hear expectations somewhere along the lines of Vomit Rocket. But incredibly, this port of the existing Wipeout Omega Collection on PS4 is one of the smoothest, most polished experiences available for PlayStation VR. Brain-melting high speeds mixed with otherworldly, gravity-defying racetracks sound like a recipe for disaster in VR, but Sony has managed to port these 3 classic Wipeout games so adeptly that air braking around zero-G curves feels like butter.
It's a testament to the talent at Supermassive Games that their PSVR launch title, Until Dawn Rush of Blood, has found a place on every single one of our top 20 lists since launch. I've said it 1,000 times, Rush of Blood combines all of my favorite things: haunted houses, light gun shooters, and roller coasters seamlessly into one terrifying game. Critics labeled it as a cheap cash-in on the Until Dawn name, which is exactly why you shouldn't listen to critics.
Redesigned from the ground up, Super Hot is an essential title that will test your quick thinking and dexterity while pulling off moves you'd only find in action movies. Time only moves when you do, so strategize every attack to take out the hordes of red goons in the most creative and efficient ways possible, all while avoiding getting hit.
Sony's London studio has expanded the concept behind their London heist experience in much the same way that PSVR World's Robot Rescue went on to become Astrobot Rescue Mission. And once again, it can only be called a major success. Fans of GoldenEye, Time Crisis, and hard-boiled London gangster flicks will find plenty to love in Blood and Truth. Top-notch facial animations, professional voice acting, and incredible action set pieces elevate the intense arcade shooter experience to a level of AAA sheen that few other PSVR titles can compete with.
Today a legend is born, ready for vengeance, ready for war, ready for anything, ready for more. My English gangster, I'm dead for sure.
Before we dive into our top 5, here's a few honorable mentions that absolutely could have made the list, if only the competition wasn't so fierce.
A whole world of cities and ships.
People have come to the Static Institute of Retention of Volunteers.
What you want, you gotta love what you want now. Be somebody who will love nobody.
Finding Firewall 0 Hour the number 5 spot on this list speaks worlds of the 4 games that ranked higher, because there simply isn't another PlayStation VR game that has the feverish, loyal fanbase of Firewall. As a 4v4 online tactical shooter, you'll almost never find empty lobbies, but you'll frequently be introduced to new contractors, maps, and devices delivered by developer First Contact Entertainment's steady stream of free DLC. Do yourself a favor, buy an aim controller, and never look back.
Making my way to the stairs inside.
Crisp, colorful graphics, rhythm-based swordplay, loads of upbeat electronic tunes, Beat Saber is great for casual, hardcore, new, or experienced gamers alike. With the addition of not only more songs, but customization as well, it continues to bring us a fresh experience, and we look forward to the playlists and features expanding even further in the future while we master its precise gameplay.
The story of No Man's Sky is unlike any other in recent memory. Massive expectations met with intense backlash upon release, followed by a redemption story that no one could have foreseen. After years of major updates, No Man's Sky Beyond finally capitalizes on the game's initial promise. The fact that we can experience it all in VR as a free update with friends online is nothing short of amazing. And despite some bugs at launch, this is easily the most expansive and compulsively replayable game we've ever seen in VR.
Ever since its release, critics have claimed that Resident Evil 7 is simply too scary for some people to play. And while that could be construed as a criticism, I see it as a crowning achievement. The addition of VR propels Capcom's return to form to the top of this list, in a constant neck-and-neck war with other games for first place. But wherever it falls, Resident Evil 7 will always have a special place in my heart, because although I'm the biggest horror fan I know, my first time through the Baker estate was in fact too scary for even me. I took off my PSVR headset more times than I can count. And that, my friends, is quite an accomplishment.
Astrobot Rescue Mission is nothing short of a masterpiece that anyone and everyone can enjoy. With stunning graphics, superb platforming gameplay with a variety of additional mechanics, giant boss battles, collectibles, and challenge levels, not only is it the highest rated PSVR game, but it's the highest rated VR game of all time, and for good reason.
there's never been a better time to own a PlayStation VR headset. And with Aspire 1, Touring Cards, Gorn, Witching Tower, Iron Man, and a ton of other amazing games all on the way, we're expecting that this list will look radically different when the next top 20 debate rolls around at the end of November. We can't wait to see you there.